SKANF throwing technique is wide and diverse. Let's take, for example, some movements. Here in classical technique, there is a swing and throw, swing and throw, large amplitudes. When large amplitudes are performed, an active muscles work plays a significant role here. Active muscles work. That is why big radiuses of angular movements are involved. And if we swing like this, angular movements involved. But we can reduce the angular moment. Not relative to the shoulder, this sequence of engaging links. But if we do that relative to the elbow. Muscular movement. The extensive one. But if we reduce the radius further, then the angular velocity which we can achieve increases. That is the way we can rapidly gain the first angular velocity, the second one in the elbow and the third one in the wrist. And the knife itself gains in fingers even more angular velocity by reducing the rotation radius. But if we switch to small radiuses and do it with our muscles only, in this case I played along, and do it with our muscles, then we won't have enough of energy in this case to throw the knife as we do this using big radiuses. Will not be enough, and why? Because muscles work is not effective. And what is effective at small radiuses? Forces, elastic forces, and the forces of elastic deformations. These elastic forces, they can, during short period of time, give dramatic amount of moment, increase large angular speed of the knife. And muscles cannot do this. Therefore, in order to throw at small radiuses of rotation, small, we need to learn how to use these elastic forces. Maximum elastic forces are involved where there is no active muscles work. And in this case, we have an interesting reverse concept. Here it is. The major part of this movement is active muscular work. And only when there are short reverse movements the elastic force is involved. One hand, two hands, and using two hands is more effective than with only one. And this reversal movement we will consider as a reverse. And only the reverse can give us opportunity to use the elastic forces. And why? Because only in reverse, in this case I have both hands working rapidly, but in the same reverse, one hand can work actively either. And if we work at small angles, one works and the other one starts to go opposite for some reason, because of the elastic forces generated by deformation during the reversal moment. And so, a large amount of active work I reduce, and here more elastic forces are involved. And the activity of the muscles is at the minimum. So, this is the reverse. But we must use reverse of body and the wrist. Body has a big mass itself. When reverse movements are fast, we gain reversal motion. That is the short one, inactive, passive. Only under these conditions we have maximum of deformation. And maximum elastic forces are triggered sending a knife. And there is an opposite situation. Here I'm making movement and the knife goes itself. Let's count all the way around. The knife comes back to the wrist, returned. Why did it happen? Because it was sent by these elastic forces. Not active, but elastic. I gave an example when shooting a finger. It is elastic, and here we knock with muscles. Elastic forces should throw the knife. Elastic forces are not under control of our attention, and we cannot trace their work. Because their work is rapid. And our mind fails to trace the signals sent from elastic forces' actions on time. Therefore, we do not feel the way they work. But in order to make them work, the only thing we can do is to create appropriate conditions. We must create the conditions for the wrist to deform, and also to deform the part of the body involved in the process. Deform. We can do deformation with our muscles, and under certain conditions we use it. When throwing fast or moving, for example. But the deformation should be passive. And in order to make passive here during the reverse movement, it needs to be active here. And here we start with the body, we started the movement with the body. Here we trace delay. Body starts here, it follows us. Body starts and it goes. Here are large amplitudes. I swing the body and move forward. Swing and then forward. Swing and then forward. Swing. The arm goes, goes, goes. 3 movements are pushed out. Here goes the pull. And at this exact moment I do a snappy move forward. Here goes another pull. And with the help of elastic forces the hand flies forward with a large angular velocity, with angular acceleration. If it does not occur, if we move the body and the arm in the same plane, unlike this one, there won't occur any acceleration in the hand. Body should work in advance. But while with large amplitudes, this process is also involved, but it cannot be used for throwing. It's a very long process. But if we shorten these movements, how? Blocking the arm. We block the hand and the body, and do not let them move roomy. And during the fast movements, our hand pushes out 3 moments, and deformation takes place. Only deformation works, but there is no active work. Deformation and deformation. Slow swing and deformation. Slow. Body turns forward and arm deforms, and elastic forces appear. But this forearm is fixed relative to the body, used in blocking, and the wrist is unchained. In making slight movement, the wrist gains very big angular velocities by itself. Here we divert the forearm using body, and the wrist is left behind because of the inertia. When you stop, it starts to swing. As soon as it went, we make the body move forward, pulling the forearm. Deformation increases and here is post-swing of the wrist. The same with the knife. Here we go and the knife swings itself. As soon as it came here, we move the body forward and here's the post-swing of the knife. Post-swing of the knife. Elastic forces increase peak-like. Deformations. And they send the knife into the target. Unlike the muscular work, this work is 10 times more efficient. And so, as mentioned in my first book, it is the basics of the technique, but these basics are used across the whole variety of throwing. You know, I heard someone said something like, for some reason you described one thing but performed another, but I do the same thing. Everything is done the same way. If you understand this mechanism, wherever the knife is or whatever part of the body works, everywhere happens the same. A knife receives a large angle acceleration, and after making a specific speed-up mechanism, rushes to the aim with great speed. Here is the schematics of the movement. The concept of pull and overpull we can picture as slingshot is pulled, overpull, release. A bowstring is pulled, overpull and release. Overpull is a short time acceleration. It is obtained by an existing larger formation of bowstring, rubber, or body, and it has its vector. You can hit the wood with a stick, for example. The tip of the stick breaks off. Due to the reduced rotation radius, it flies somewhere with great angular velocity. Here is the same picture, but let's imagine not a stick, but still ball on the string. We rotate it, and when the ball passes a certain position, we send the impulse into the string before the ball, the vector impulse. The string will bend. String deformation in this area at the point of impact before the ball will increase. Elastic forces will increase. Radius decreased, elastic force increased. The ball gains a large angular acceleration. And what is more important, if we let the string go at the right time, it rushes towards the vector, which was used to impact the string with the impulse. And how can we apply it to the knife? The concept of pull, we rotate the knife and it is under the pull. Centrifugal force. We can release it at any time and it will rush towards the vector direction. Continuous pull. Here we have a continuous pull. Continuous pull, tension is everywhere here. So, while pulling, we should do overpull. To have a better understanding, imagine this as a metal ball on the string. Here I rotate the knife and the knife goes pulled, 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 and I did the overpull. Knife goes pulled, pulled, pulled. Here's the overpull movement. Knife is under pull and overpull. Unlike the usual movements, when we do swing, and further there is a usual walking action. Acceleration of the hand of subject. These movements are in opposite phases. Swing, stop, or without any stop, and there. Here, the second walking phase is very short. It is overpull, and it works towards the same direction. There is a movement there and here, and there is a wrist movement there and one more time there. Here I'm doing this very quickly. There it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. If you notice, you could see. I stopped here and then continued on. That is all. Muscles are not capable of doing this. It can only be done by deformations and their interactions. It means we are accelerating the subject and then making overpull. In this case, overpull is the second gaining acceleration mechanism. It is very important and fundamental. described in the book. And the pull is the first mechanism. Here we can send a knife just using pull. And here I use overpull. It is overpull movement. And the knife is gaining more and more speed up acceleration. But I showed this using large amplitudes and muscles are involved here. But mostly work deformation, elastic forces. But we can pull for a long time and rotate for a long time. But we have wave movements for this exact purpose, which differ how. Here we have movements like this, and here another. While these move, pulling forces are constant. And here, now, here we can see the stop phase. And here is always pulling. We make this action and pulling. Overpull on pulling forces. Overpull on pulling. But we do not push the knife. And what is interesting, the impact on the knife is not pushing. Please note, consider how the movement works when we use a whip. Here is a whip, it bends. And here is this point, our finger pads. This is some point on the whip, and moving like this point has a direction. And 90 degrees to the wave, shear wave. And if you just push this point in the hand, wave process is interrupted right away. During the motion we do like this, and 90 degrees to the blade, and the knife gains a wave motion, which comes to the knife tip, feels it. It is hard to force yourself to release the knife right in this moment. I stay close to the stand, and here we pull, 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 and swing. And most of people release here, and I would prefer here. So we pull and up. My wrist goes back. Unlike the case, if you push forward, it just goes like this and nothing happens. Every attempt to help the knife and push it there prevents. We need to make a move and it will go by itself. It is the feeling like we do not send it and not push it, we just do a slash movement. And it rushes towards the overpull vector. Now let's go back to the small rotation radius body walk. But if we move the body, move on amplitudes and decrease them step by step. In this case, muscles do not allow to make quick reversal. Fast reversals, rapid change of turning angles, it only can be done by the forces of elastic deformations. Therefore, there is a certain technique in SKANF which helps to use pure deformation force while throwing or punching and so on. Working with objects and sticks, arms, legs use only these mechanisms. Mechanism gaining angular acceleration using elastic force, but not using muscles. we can check this. Shoulder, hand are the link system and the knife. We can do the turn back of shoulders. It's a go. But these are large amplitudes with much muscles work involvement and less elastic forces, and therefore they are ineffective. We reduce the amplitude. It's better now. At smaller amplitudes, but again with muscles. And now smaller amplitudes, but working with elastic forces. Here we obtain a different result. Other speeds, angle acceleration and knife speed. In other words, such fast reversal cannot be achieved with muscles. It's a certain technique. How to do it, how to work, how to use your body to make such movements, the interaction. All this is described in the second book. That is why. At small angles of rotation, we came to the most important here. It does not matter where these small rotation angles are. Where small angles acceleration gaining takes place. It occurs here, or here, or here. So we have another picture of throwing. And I think it would be superfluous to say, why do you teach us so and so when you can also do so and so? Everywhere is the same. Everywhere is the same. Small angles here, small angles here. The same. From any position, I can do it with my body, or elbow, or wrist. Various lengths of chain are involved in throwing. How I prefer, when I prefer. Then I'm doing it. Amplitude reduction. It should be certain sequence of actions while learning throwing technique. The first book gives a basis. In other words, we have learned how to work with our body, understood the interaction. We do the move and it goes here. Next, now the concepts such as a hip forward movement, hip reverse, and work without moves. I simply outlined the work at decreasing angles amplitudes. The more we decrease the amplitude, the better the effect. Also, small amplitudes can be used in combat. Now swing, wherever you hold. It's a go. And so on. And as a result, we have a full picture. Holding a blade, the same. Making large amplitudes. Done. Reducing them. Even less. Done. Movements are less and less. No matter what's the plane at low amplitudes. Let's imagine full clock face. 12 hours. 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 7, more than 7, and then moved on here. Throwing like this, like this, like this, like this, at these angles. What's next? Uncomfortable, turn a bit, enough at these angles, at these angles, and at these angles, at these angles, and return to the start position. So when we stand, we can send the knife there, and here, and here, and here, and here, in all directions, 360 degrees. It is achieved by doing a slight move. And if we had large amplitudes, we would have had problems. Absolutely the same with the blade. No matter what I hold, handle or blade, the same thing. The blade. Let's move the camera a bit. This way is easier. What happens? Here's amplitude. And now smaller amplitude. And here is the quick, short amplitude. No matter, the amplitude can be large or small. The short one, the knife is held here and here, in any position. Get ready upon voice command.
Оп. 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 Повторяю.
Again.
Оп.
Keep the knife lower.
Оп. 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 Оп.
Good. Low knife position, get ready. Standing speed throwing upon clapping. No odd movements, get ready. Change the knife position as you want. Change the grip, get ready. Steady upon clapping. No. Pull it somewhere up as much as you can. Standing position, get ready,
Место. Приготовиться.
blocking. The third one was good. Get ready. From below. The knife is in the frame, okay. Upon clapping, standing position steady. Again. That swing was odd. Reverse grip. Ready position. No, not reverse, blade grip.
Хват за лезвие.
Upon clapping.
Менять
Change the
положение.
knife position relative to the body. Now the knife position related to the body.
Ножа.
Get ready. Change the knife position relative to the body. Ready. One more time.
Где удобно.
Choose yourself the position, hip, get ready. Speed throw in reverse grip, knife in the sheath on a belt. Upon clapping, get ready. Knife in the sheath, reverse grip, speed throw in, upon clapping. Get ready, knife in its sheath, reverse grip, speed throw in, upon clapping. Knife is in its sheath, upon clapping. Reverse grip, the knife is in sheath. Upon clapping, speed throw, get ready. Knife in its sheath, reverse grip, speed throwing, upon clapping, get ready. Again. Ready position, knife in its sheath, reverse grip, upon clapping. Here is one interesting issue: angular velocity. If in classical throwing technique we increase the radius of rotation, shoulder relative rotation axis, and one can imagine that the knife acquires angular velocity, well, we can say about 200 degrees per second. In SKANF technique, a knife, because of the small rotation radius, has an angular velocity in the wrist about 2000 degrees per second, from 1700 to 2200. 200 degrees and 2000 degrees, 10 times the difference. So, no matter how I think we accelerate the knife makes the whole way together with the hand in the classical knife throwing technique, but in SKANF it will do the same twice faster. It is an interesting feature, which is an indication of gain in angular velocities. Therefore, once again, in SKANF technique, the main focus is on gaining the angular velocity at smaller radiuses, which should be done by the wrist and body, but not the arm in any way.